China is making a new way to generate power, and get this, it's inflatable. Well, I hope you're having a great day, because it's time for another episode of Odd News Weekly, the show where we find the craziest news on the internet for your viewing pleasure. This week, we have crazy stories like sports brands making fashion collections for pets. And you have to stay to the very end to hear about this AI actress that's gonna replace Scarlett Johansson. So let's get right into story number 1. China is making an inflatable power plant. If you didn't know, a few weeks ago, we had a story about how China made these inflatable balloon tents to cover huge construction projects, and now they're testing an inflatable wind turbine. I guess they just love anything inflatable. Well, this inflatable turbine has 12 generators rated at 100 kilowatts, so it's not a small unit at all. But you might wonder why they would need to make an inflatable wind turbine as opposed to a regular wind turbine. But apparently it's because you don't have to construct a huge foundation and a large metal tower, and it makes it much easier to move to really remote locations. So in theory, you could bring this inflatable turbine to a remote village and supply power for everyone. And that's huge, a total win for green energy. But also, it's filled with helium. So, a gigantic explosion! Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But what do you think? Do you think this tech is cool? I personally think it's a cool innovation, but they really need to seriously consider some of the hazards that might come with it. You know, safety hazards, fire hazards, even. But speaking of hazards, we have story number 2. What would you do if you were trapped in a grocery store with a wild bear? Well, shoppers in Arizona were shocked to see a wild bear just running around inside the grocery store. And honestly, from the videos, it looked like it had a lot of energy. Witnesses said they saw the bear bump into the glass doors, but it eventually found its way in. And it went to the produce section, but didn't take anything. And apparently, it didn't even cause any damage at all. Good guy bear. Honestly, what I was expecting was that it would go straight to the honey aisle and go, "Show me the honey." But apparently, it seems like that bear just wanted to have a look around and see what was going on. Everybody was safe, and hopefully that bear made its way home safe and sound. But what would you do if you were in this situation? If I saw a bear in the wild, oh my god, I would lose it. We don't have bears here, so I'd be really worried about that. But speaking of huge animals, foxes can fly now? This shocking video from India shows a rare flying fox on the ground. Take a look. I mean, that doesn't just look like a flying fox, it looks like a flying wolf. It looks like a flying golden retriever, it's that large. And if you're wondering just how large this creature is, well, its body is around 3 feet long. But get this, its wingspan can reach up to 6 feet. I'm not even 6 feet tall, so it's like longer than I am tall. I mean, I'm not really that tall, but still, take a look at this thing. I mean, it literally looks like Dracula. Look how big that thing is, holy. I guess today is the day I learned that bats can be very large. But from the video, it did look like it was injured, so hopefully it's fine. But if I saw that flying around at night, oh my god, I would cry. But what do you think? Have you ever seen a bat this big? Apparently, they're common in the Philippines. But it's crazy, right? I can't believe it. But speaking of crazy, it's crazy that you haven't hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell yet, seeing as though you seem to be enjoying this video. So if you could go over there and click those buttons, we would really appreciate it. If you really love the content, we really appreciate all the support. And that brings us to story number 4. This creature washed up on a beach in the UK, and it looks like an alien. A couple was walking with their dog around the beach when they saw this crazy alien-looking creature washed up on shore. And as crazy and as strange as it looks, apparently this thing is called a sea mouse. And it usually lives on the seafloor, but apparently because of some bad weather, it found itself on the beach. And locals were stunned because it just looks so strange. Apparently it has spikes all over its body, and it has hair that can glow, which makes it even more like an alien, honestly. But apparently you don't have to worry about this if you come across this thing on the beach, because apparently they're harmless to humans. And just look at this guy holding this thing like it was nothing. But honestly, some creatures just look like they're from somewhere else. Especially deep sea creatures, those things look really strange. So what do you think of this sea mouse? Cute? Creepy? Or just plain cool? Let us know in the comments below. But speaking of cute animals, we have story number 5. Adidas is launching a whole fashion collection just for pets. Have you ever heard of the company Adidas? And have you ever heard of pets? Well, these things have now come together to make this fashion collection and the internet is ablaze of comments of cuteness. Just take a look at the pictures. Some people are finding it hilarious, and some people are mad that they're not making it for the larger dogs. But one person commented that if they got this, their dog would start barking like a British gangster. But honestly, it's a very cute and funny concept, and really, we're excited to see all the pets that have that new Adidas strip looking down on all the normal naked pets. What do you think? Would you buy this for your pets? Well, it really depends. If it's a good price, then I might just consider it. I need to get my cat some drip. But speaking of animal-like creatures, we have story number 6. Have you ever heard of the Mothman? Apparently, people in West Virginia love him so much that there's a festival in his name. If you're confused as to what the Mothman is, apparently there was a sighting in 1966 when 2 couples were being chased by a large humanoid creature. And now he's gained Bigfoot status in West Virginia. People apparently come from all over to wear costumes and celebrate the Mothman. People sell moth floss or cotton candy, and they have lemonade and all types of other treats. And all these visitors just want to hang out and show love to their favorite creepy man. Isn't that just so odd? But people gather here because they feel drawn to this legend. And a Mothman devotee summed it up well when he said, "Folklore has a power beyond just entertainment, and these stories help us feel connected to something greater than just our experience." So very cool, I guess. Honestly, I'm happy to see people just gathering together and having fun as a community. What do you think? Would you go to the Mothman festival? I think I really would, especially if there's food. But speaking of hair, we have story number 7. This guy hasn't shaved his beard in 10 years and turned it into a dreadlock. In another story with a crazy world record, this man, Rudolph Martino, claimed the title of longest beard locks. And it's a whopping 1.06 meters long. That's 3 feet and 6 inches for you Americans out there. And apparently it takes a lot of maintenance and keep up, and it takes really long to dry. But he said he wanted to show the world a clean and presentable look with locked hair, and that he was inspired by the holy men of India. And another interesting thing about this guy is apparently he's a competitive pool player, and he wants to give billiards a more wholesome image. You never know what to expect from this guy. But I think we should clap it up for him. Congratulations, Rudolph. You're a really cool, wholesome guy. I mean, I just love him. Look, he just looks like a lovely man. But what do you think? Do you think you could give him a run for his money and grow a beard longer and more beautiful than his? I'd like to see you try. But speaking of things that may not be so lovely and happy, this bride read her groom's cheating messages instead of their vows. In the story taking the internet by storm, a bride caught her soon-to-be husband cheating a night before their wedding. But instead of calling everything off, she told her friends and decided to humiliate the groom in front of all their close family and friends. And this led the groom to walk away in shame. Drama! The internet did blow up with reactions though. Some people were calling it a move for clout, some people were saying that Groom was a clown, and one comment read, "I truly hope she enjoyed the food, drinks, and the whole reception with her loved ones. It's not a failure, but a blessing that she dodged a bullet." And I guess that's true. You know, she can't make that money back that she spent on that wedding, so hopefully she had a good night and had a good time with her wedding, with her close friends and family, and made sure to celebrate that she dodged a bullet. But what do you think? Should she have done that, or should she have found a way to call off the wedding instead? I don't know. I honestly wouldn't know what to do in that situation. But speaking of things that I do know, this YouTuber started collecting Polly Pockets in 2019, and now she owns the largest collection in the world. If you think you started collecting things seriously when you became an adult, well, think again. Because this YouTuber called Kerchie Online started collecting Polly Pockets in 2019 when she turned 30, and now, 6 years later, she has the largest Polly Pocket collection in the world. She said she apparently got rid of all her Polly Pockets when she was growing up, but she said that nostalgia was the real reason she wanted to pick it back up again and start collecting. And she said one benefit of her collection was that she's able to come out of her shell a little bit more. And that's a lovely positive thing to hear about collecting toys. She also gives her advice to you to not throw away any of your Polly Pockets because they might be valuable. But I love to see adults growing up and just healing that inner child by buying toys. Because that's what we all want, buying toys. Maybe I should start collecting toys again. Maybe I will. But what do you think? Do you think it's time to collect your favorite childhood toys? Let us know what those are in the comments below. And that brings us to the last story of the day. This company made an AI-generated actress and said it could be the next Scarlett Johansson. Have a look at Tilly Norwood. She's a completely AI-generated actress, and it's causing a lot of controversy online. The creator, Emily van der Velden, said, "We want Tilly to be the next Scarlett Johansson or Natalie Portman, and that's the aim of what we're doing." And that means AI isn't just coming for my job or your job, it's coming for the jobs of Scarlett Johansson and Natalie Portman too. Nobody is safe. And in this video, where all the actors are generated by AI, the future is looking like it's gonna be pretty scary. The creator then said that she sees AI not as a replacement for people, but as a new tool and a new paintbrush that opens up new possibilities. But yeah, she said that Tilly Norwood could be the next Scarlett Johansson and Natalie Portman, but apparently also not a replacement for people. So I'm a little bit confused. I mean, just listen to what Emily Blunt has to say about this.
Good lord, we're screwed. That is really, really scary. Come on, agencies, don't do that.
But what do you think? Do you think AI could really take the jobs of some of the highest paid actresses and actors out there? What do you think? We'd love to have a conversation in the comments below. But since you're already there in the comments, might as well start celebrating because you are one of the special people who made it to the very end of today's episode of Odd News Weekly. Woo! Look at you! You never quit, you never gave up, you reached the very end, and we are so happy that we have all your support and viewership. We are so grateful that you spend your precious time here with us, and we're trying our best to make the best videos we can for you guys. And we'd appreciate it even more if you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. You know, that really helps us out here. So yeah, next week it's gonna be another video, and every week after that, because we don't stop here, we want to give you the best videos we can. And so see you guys next time, and remember friends, stay odd. Bye!